candidates and hundreds of marketed drugs. And it may be we didn't always maximize the full value out of that. So we actually created the group in St. Louis called the Indications Discovery Unit, who sold every possible assay and cell line. We work with partners outside, I forget the names of the partners now, but specifically with this eye towards if we thought it was supposed to work in oncology, but it didn't, but it wasn't toxic, it just didn't work, is there some other indication for that? So that is the shortest path to value for a failed drug, rather than trying to restart the whole engine. So it's been a very big area for Pfizer. I know some of the multinationals are working with other partners to do that.
Big brothers like here are here to take it next forward, because two reasons. We have expertise in the drug discovery area and bringing up to proof of concept level. But when it goes to the next level, how to focus on which diseases to focus this one, and the protocol writing and money putting money in and the development, that is the big boys game, and I think we are not there yet. But we can bring up to that part, and then if proof of concept is right and it is proven at that stage, I think it will be taken to the global market through the partnerships. So yes, it's good and bad. Most of the big companies in India, they have started this drug discovery because of the problem with the people in market. They have to shut down their shops because their EPS is shut down because the expenses there has to write off, and that's affecting them. So there are very few people are left. So it's an intent is there, the capability is there, and we can go to certain level at this time, not all the way. Not in the big diseases like CNS especially, it's not possible to go all the way because it's a huge amount of money. It needs to be involved.
I'd like to partly answer your question. See, there are tropical diseases. For example, malaria is an example. India has also problems of Kala Azar and things like that. Now, this is an area where government is putting maximum effort, because they know that Indian government knows that not much funds will be expended in this by the international companies as well as who are companies in the mainstream of drug development. So there are major programs. For example, if you look at Central Drug Research Institute programs, the number of molecules which are from both natural sources as well as synthetic, which are particularly potent for these diseases. And so government is now looking for industry to come forward and take this for commercialization. So these areas, if you get more and more support you can get from the government in this particular R&D on that. That's what I wanted to mention. Yes, definitely, yes. There are a number of institutions which work on the natural products and also drug synthesis. Their very focus is on these areas.
I'm glad to hear it, Dr. Raghavan. I'll come back to you. But you, Dr. Kakaria, was saying that there has to be a critical mass of professionals before we can do really innovative work. Earlier, Dr. Rathore, you were saying about is there a talent gap in the country? Would you like to elaborate on that a little?
Sure. I mean, and it again is very specific for my field or biologics. I mean, and biologics essentially per se started much later, and yes, there is a huge amount of talent in the States, but the talent has filtered slowly down even to Europe or some of the developed countries. And yes, India is finally getting there, and India now has the right educational institutions where they actually inculcate this education. So yes, the gap is being filled, but there is still one. There is still a gap. There is more of a demand than the supply right now.
Well, actually, I have a question for Venkat. India is emerging as a very big capital for the diabetes. The diabetic patients, the population of the diabetics in India is. Why have you chosen a therapeutic area of CNS, particularly where even the complexity and determining the endpoint of the compound is so difficult? What was the rationale for you to select the area of CNS?
As Richard said, in drug discovery, nothing is guaranteed. Failure is for sure it has happened. When you touch something when you know that the failure is the end game and the only success will be little less, you being a small player, if you want to be recognized quickly, you want to hit the pinnacle of the discovery research. And if you can do something about it, I think you can get attracted to the collaborative research partnerships, which I have done with one of the companies like Eli Lilly. If I was in the other disease categories where so many other people are there, I'll be competing. Whereas in CNS, I think I'm the only one, if not second, one of the two in India. So that way we have some special niche carved out, and that's the reason why we have chosen that. And as a follow-up on the graduates or the technology talent, I think that we don't need to worry about at this stage of the game. Yes, it takes a while for us to build the universities to teach that kind of things. But as you know, nowadays, the big pharma is cutting their R&D left, right, and center. I mean, the other day I saw 2,200 research scientists from AZ will be taken out in next 2 years. A lot of Indian people are going to come back. And if you're serious enough, and you're serious enough to move forward, you have many people who can come and join you. I think the only thing is a small success will bring people. If not, if we are a struggling company and we're not focusing rightly, I think asking a person of Indian origin who has been working with Pfizer or somebody else to come back to us will be difficult. But we can get the talent very easily nowadays because they are also looking to way out. They want to come back to India. Reverse brain drain is happening. So that way, the talent gap is not a thing to worry at this stage of the game, but at the same time, we need to build our talent for future. That's for sure.
What's your question, sir?
Yeah, two bits actually. One, as far as the Indian companies and others, replacement of pipeline is a big issue because I think so. What is the short-term plan to actually see to it that the growth engine is continuing, and also the point about trying to the cutting down of R&D budgets by big pharma. They are doing it left, right, and center, as he says. Can you just say in terms of so where is the budget leading to right now if cutting down on R&D is left, right, and center?
Well, I think it's like any other investor. They invest in research and they hope to get something out of it. When they don't see the right returns, they first give you a warning saying, we're not seeing the returns we want. So we try to increase our productivity, try to reduce attrition, try to get more drugs approved. And so if companies aren't able to do that, they simply can't afford the luxury of having big research units. And so, so it does put pressure on you. There's no question about that. In terms of the pipeline gap, I think part of what many companies do is they realize maybe we're going across too broad a landscape. We're trying to tackle too many therapeutic areas with too many approaches. We're not giving any one program all the muscle, all the resources they need to get a clear signal quickly. And so what they tend to do then is you start to streamline, reduce. Again, none of these are areas of low medical need, but you have to make some tough decisions about where you think you have the best chance, maybe where the science is breaking best. And so, so you make decisions on which therapeutic areas, which candidates, and that's the best you can do. And I think at Pfizer, they've certainly committed now over the next 3 years to reinvigorate their innovative core. Part of that is making sure that we're as available as we can be to our external partners who may bring us new modalities that we can't do. If everything could be solved by a small molecule, we'd feel pretty comfortable at Pfizer. We could be innovative, but we don't think that every disease going forward will be solved by a small molecule. So we need more vaccines, more antibodies, more ribosomes, more, whatever it takes.
What was the first part of your question?
About Indian companies. India, China has always been the issue, okay. But what are their learnings? Obviously, they're looking at Chinese companies.
Who would like to take it?